All right, let's talk about a side hustle that has been absolutely exploding lately: AI-powered newsletters. Today, we're going to break down exactly how people are using some pretty simple AI tools to build real, verifiable income streams. Let's dive right in.
So let me just ask you this right off the bat. What would an extra $15,000 a month really mean for you? Now, we're not talking about some casual hobby here. We're talking about a serious investment of your time and your focus that has some genuinely high documented income potential. But is it for real? Well, let's look at the actual data.
So the numbers you're seeing, $3,000 to $15,000, that's the real documented monthly income range for successful AI-curated newsletters. And look, this isn't just hype. It's because platforms like Substack are built on being transparent to attract creators, so a lot of their earnings dashboards are actually public. You can go and verify this stuff. We're looking at real hard results.
Okay, so for our first section, let's break down what this hustle actually is. I want to be clear, this is not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a legitimate business model that's built on providing real value to people. The reason it's gained so much traction is that new technology now makes it possible to deliver super high-quality, curated information with, honestly, remarkable efficiency. At its core, an AI-curated newsletter is just a brilliantly efficient business. So imagine you're really passionate about, say, sustainable investing. Now, instead of you spending hours every single day reading dozens of financial reports and articles, you could use an AI tool to scan all of it, pull out the 5 most important things that happened, and summarize them. You then package that little valuable brief up for a paid subscriber base who wants to stay in the loop without doing all that heavy listing themselves. See? That's the model. You become the trusted curator, and AI is your engine. Now, let's move on and see how this actually works in practice. Because look, a great idea is one thing, but as any investor knows, you have to follow the real money. Doing your due diligence is absolutely key. So we're going to look at the verified earnings to see if this opportunity actually holds up to scrutiny. So where's all this data coming from? It's so important to be skeptical of big claims. So we're pulling this stuff directly from the source. The numbers you're about to see, they come from public earnings dashboards on platforms like Substack and Beehive, and also from detailed case studies that the creators themselves have shared. Okay, check this out. What's so fascinating here aren't just the numbers, but the different ways people are winning. So you've got Newsletter A on Substack pulling in a wild $240,000 a year. Their model? It's all about frequency. They do AI-powered daily digests on a really fast-moving topic that professionals need to track. Then there's Newsletter B over on Beehive, hitting a super consistent $9,000 a month. Their secret is they use a very specific AI to summarize complex tech trends for a super niche audience. And then you have Newsletter C, which just shows you the potential for crazy fast growth, $7,000 in its first quarter. How'd they do it? They cleverly used a free version to build a huge readership, and then they converted their most dedicated fans to a paid plan. So what is the secret sauce making all of this possible? Well, that brings us right to Section 3, the AI curation engine. This is the tech under the hood that really transforms this whole thing from a time-consuming grind into a business that's accessible and scalable for, well, just about anyone. And this just lays it out perfectly. It's night and day. The old way meant hours and hours of manual research, painstaking writing, editing, setting up these complicated payment systems. Ugh. The AI way completely changes the game. Tools like Grok, which is an AI built to pull and summarize real-time info from the web, can digest dozens of sources in minutes. Other AIs can generate catchy hooks and first drafts for you to then polish. And the best part? Platforms like Substack handle all the payments for you automatically. The value proposition is just crystal clear. AI automates the hardest parts, which dramatically slashes your time investment. Okay, so this all leads us to the most important part, right? The how-to, your actionable blueprint. In this final section, we are going to walk through a really clear 4-step strategy that you can actually use to get started and launch your very own AI-curated newsletter. All right, here it is, your 4-step launch plan. Step 1, find your niche. And the key here is to get specific. Don't just pick finance. No, pick crypto for beginners or ethical stock investing for millennials. You can even use an AI tool to brainstorm a month's worth of topic outlines just to make sure you never run out of ideas. Step 2, curate content. This is where the AI magic happens. You use the tools to summarize articles and draft your newsletter, but your job becomes editor-in-chief. You're there to make sure it's high quality, inject your personality, and add that human insight that AI just can't replicate. Step 3, build your platform. This part has never been easier. You can get set up on Beehive or Substack in literally an afternoon. Start with simple price tiers, maybe $5 to $20 a month. The goal is just to start, not to be perfect. And finally, step 4, grow.
Your content is not going to find an audience by itself. You got to promote it. Post interesting little snippets and links on platforms like X and in relevant Reddit communities where your target audience is already hanging out. When you put this all together, it really leads to this one powerful idea. For decades, if you wanted to create a real monetizable content business, it took a ton of resources or time or technical skill. That barrier, it's been effectively demolished by these new tools. This opportunity is more accessible right now than it has ever been in history.
So, at the end of the day, we're left with this. The AI tools to do this, they're mostly free or super low cost to get started. The earnings potential, it's been documented by real people on public platforms. So the only question that's really left is a personal one. What are you passionate about? What valuable information could you curate for an audience that needs it? What story is your newsletter going to tell?